everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikita and I bring useful tips and tricks that can help you take a step closer to the industry. In today's video, we are going to talk about one of the most critical questions asked in many interviews and probably one of the most commonly asked interview questions. How do you deal with failures? Or tell me about a time when your project was failing and how did you go about it? Now remember, TPM interviews are not always about success. It's obvious that engineering projects are expected to fail at certain times, and it's important to showcase your team member attributes to show that how do you lead your team without being authoritative and how do you take ownership of end-to-end delivery. So without any delay, let's get into how do you present this answer if you were asked in an interview. Now remember, we will be following the STAR method, and for those of you who have been following my videos regularly, I'm sure you remember that video from the past. But for those of you who missed watching that video, I'm going to link the video in the description below. Go watch that video after this video. So let's get into answering this interview question. Tell me about a time when you dealt with a failure and how did you go about it? Now, firstly, when you are asked about this interview question, you need to showcase that you have handled different types of failures in the past. And maybe you have not, but if you were to come across a situation, how did you go about it? So, firstly, it's about clarifying the question better. Now, failures could be because there was lack of understanding or communication. Failure could be because certain resources failed at delivering at something, or failure could be because of some other reasons like infrastructure issues, last minute testing requirements that came in, or last minute testing failures. So firstly, I would clarify to the interviewer, can you help me understand what are the assumptions I need to make? Can I consider that the team was delivering as expected, but there were failures in terms of the requirement understanding and gaps in communication, or there was not enough forum set up to track regular progress, and maybe at the end you realize that the project was failing behind? I would not choose this type of scenario because then it showcases you failed as a TPM. But let's just ask the interviewer what is it that they would like to account for in this type of failure. Now imagine the interviewer is a little strict and they just don't want to answer a lot of questions from you and they want you to speak more. So they just say, assume anything that comes to your mind. So I'd say, all right, let's imagine a situation where you were to deliver an end-to-end project and were dependent on third-party resources, and the third party failed at delivering what was communicated to them at the start of the project. I would ask the interviewer, hey, does this scenario looks good to you, or is there anything else you would like me to consider? And the interviewer just says, go on. All right. So the situation was I was in charge of end-to-end project delivery for a backend of the project, which was expected to go live on 1st of November. Now this backend was expected to handle 10 million customers at the same time. However, at the testing phase, we realized that the infrastructure was not ready to even handle 50% of the load. And we had 6 weeks to deliver this project, and the testing was started in the 4th week. And this is where we realized that there was failure in the system's capabilities to handle 10 million customers at the same time. Now, the tasks that I took up was firstly understanding the situation better and verifying it by myself. So I would meet with my engineering team, understand where exactly the tests were failing and what was actually causing the failures. So after meeting with the engineers, I realized that the backend which was handled by the third party client was actually not sufficient to deal the traffic that we were expecting with the feature which was supposed to go live on 1st of November. Because of which I set up additional meetings with the third party clients to explain them the situation and the requirements that we had set at the start of the project. After meeting the third party clients, I realized that there was a gap in understanding and perhaps the requirement was lost in communication and this was not documented anywhere. Now, without panicking, I realized that we will not be able to meet the deadline of 1st of November, which was 2 weeks from now. So, firstly, admitting the failure and then communicating to my stakeholders, including leadership, was the first action I took as a part of this scenario. The second thing I did was trying to understand what does it take to build a scalable system that can handle 10 million customers at the same time. So we had some senior engineers and team leads come together to audit the existing infrastructure and also share clear requirements which were documented for the client team to understand what are the architectural requirements that can help have a robust system to handle 10 million customers at the same time. Now, after having these discussions, we realized that it was not possible to scale the system in 2 weeks of time. So we went back to analyze what does it take to scale the system. So asked the client to come back with a project plan. In the meantime, I shared updates with the stakeholders again that the project is blocked and we are awaiting some further developments from the client team to kickstart the project again. However, I clearly communicated that we will not be able to launch the feature by 1st of November and hence we need to work on plan B. Now plan B was basically we will be doing phased rollout. So to handle 10 million customers, first we will look at areas or geographic locations where there is small traffic and we will launch this feature for a certain period of time to see if the system is robust enough to handle at least 50% of the load. In the meantime, I asked the client team to build a project plan and share what was it that take them to scale 10 million customers. Upon further analysis, the client team shared that they will take 12 weeks of plan to actually reach 10 million customer handling at the same time. I validated this project plan, made some negotiations with the client team to see if we can actually launch this in lesser amount of time. There were some additional requirements that the client team had added, but those were just cherry on the cake. So I asked them that these could be additional requirements that they could add once the feature goes live. So we negotiated on the timelines. I also negotiated with the client team to see if they can add more resources that can help us land this project faster. Upon all the discussions we had, realized that this project could be launched in 8 weeks of time. So I quickly went back, I shared these timelines, updated and revised timelines with my stakeholders again, and got their confidence that this time we are ensuring that we are launching a more robust website which is able to handle the load requirements that we are expecting on the site. And for the future mega events where we might expect similar load on the website, we will be more prepared to handle these type of risks, otherwise which will not be controlled at this point of time and may lead to client disappointment from the website users. Voila! I understand that this was a failure which disappointed the leadership because we did lose a lot of chunk of customers which were expected to reach to the website during that phase. However, I mitigated the risk by ensuring the website is able to cater to the amount of traffic that we might expect during the next season, and also ensured that the vendor team has clear requirements documented and signed off well in time. I also learned that it's good to have at least 2 weeks of buffer time when planning a project going live, which I accounted for in my future projects. So the result was we launched this project in phases, starting with small geographies which were not expected to have high end traffic, and then scaling this feature in 8 weeks of time. We also ensured regular communications between the client team and my engineering team to ensure that the requirements are clearly met. And I also ensured that the client team was able to document the requirements better and have a friendly handshake about the mutual understandings that we would have to build a scalable and robust backend. Cool. So, I hope you like this answer where I actually shared that, there was a situation where we did not meet to the expectation that the company had with me, but I ensured that I mitigated the risks to ensure there were not failures on the client side, which would have led to a lot of customer loss unless it was taken into account for and we took a pause to build the requirements that would help building a scalable website. I did also present my learnings. I spoke more about what are the things that I did to ensure as the TPGM for this particular project to negotiate on the timelines, the resources, and also ensuring that there was consistency in communications on the both the parties. When I learned that unless things were documented, it did create some confusion and disappointment. So this is how I would go about presenting the STAR method with how do you deal with project failures, or this question may be tweaked in different forms, but I hope you got a gist of how do you present these type of answers. I will be happy to share more such interview questions and following answers to those. But remember, in my previous video, I shared that I will be sharing a TPGM question bank for multinational companies, and these could be commonly asked interview questions. I'm linking that PDF in the description below. Go watch those questions and let me know which is the next question you would like me to take and create a video on in the next video. Until the next video, take care. Bye-bye.